Remaining indeed, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are live with EG versus Fnatic.NA, game number 2. EG currently leading the best of 3, 1-0 for Fnatic.NA. It's not quite do or die, but it's an important match for them. If you lose this first match, you really have to slog it out through the lower bracket. We're currently locked in it. And Group D of Phase 2 of the group stage is our final group stage. After today, we move on into the playoffs. Liquid versus Kaida currently going on over on our other stream, twitch.tv/BeyondTheSummit2. But here it's EG versus Fnatic.NA. From these 4 teams, only 2 will move on into the playoffs. I'm LD. I'm joined here by Gods.
How's it going, everyone? Thanks everyone for tuning in. As mentioned, there's 2 games going on one, so be sure to check out the other Beyond the Summit stream as we're doing all your coverage for the We Play Dota 2 action. This is our final group in Phase 2. We've come a long way. Started out with 32 teams. We're now down to, well, 10 teams, so to speak. We've got 6 in the final phase and 4 here fighting for those last 2 spots. EG, off to a good start. 1-0, easy advantage for them. There was really nothing standing in their way in Game 1.
Yeah, it was a game where, for Fnatic.NA, the lanes didn't look bad. The trades were actually pretty decent for them, but just superior execution from EG once they had that one team fight top. And it wasn't even horrible execution from Fnatic. They had a 3-hero RP. It just didn't quite chain up properly with the Storm dying right as the RP came out, then buying back and rejoining the fight, but unfortunately for Fnatic, just showed up a little bit too late. They got nixed last game, although I don't feel like the Nix was the reason they lost. They don't want to give it away. They're going to start with the first pick Nix, and we might just see a reverse here with EG taking the Mag lifesteal. Well, they'll take Mag Gyro instead. So a great late game combo, a strong early to mid game combo. For Fnatic, you got to imagine it's Lifestealer +1, as the Lifestealer is something that Smurf has played quite a bit as well.
Yeah, I think the Lifestealer suits their style pretty well. They've got to be... They saw last game... Well, we didn't... Sorry, not last game. Last game was a Lifesteal and the Mag on the same team. But Mag does have the RP, which can go through the rage. But Lifestealer on his own is just such a strong, powerful hero. The offensive trialing didn't work out too well for Fnatic.NA, but I feel they can even just go back to sort of trading farm with EG this game. It didn't work trying to contest them. I mean, I mentioned I don't think trading farm with EG is the right way to play it, but going offensive just did not work out at all for them last game.
Yeah, and especially when you start with a Nyx, it's just not the strongest tri-lane here. If you want to go aggressive tri-lane, you'd really love to get something like, you know, a Keeper of the Light, although he's banned in this game, Shadow Demon Lina +1, a really, really powerful, easy to execute tri-lane. Getting something like a Nyx, he needs the levels, and you are on the Radiant, so you can look to pull their big camp to get some experience. It's really not the ideal offensive tri-lane. We'll see what Fnatic.NA does. They will opt for a Darkseer rather early, so getting some good control of their own. A hero that has sort of risen and fallen over the past few months. Sometimes he's a top pick, sometimes he's a little bit later on, a sort of secondary option, but he's always in the mix. And, well, they have a very strong laner for EG. Maybe they look towards something like a Rubik here as their, or even a Shadow Demon as their final selection, either of which are pretty good against Darkseer if he goes to the offlane.
Yeah, but both of those good picks. The other hero I'd be looking at maybe is to go Nature's Prophet again, but they're going to go straight for the Bane. They have this semi-counter to the Lifestealer, having a Fiend script to go through it. Also, if you want to be looking to push Darkseer out of the offlane, Nightmare's a great way to do it, because when you try going in for the kill, if he surges, that's when you queue your Nightmare, if you have that other support to set things up.
Yeah, I think it's actually a better option than those two, specifically because, like you said, he does well in the late stage, and he deals really well with Lifestealer. Sure, you can purge Lifestealer, you can disrupt someone, but nothing's going to be better than a Fiend script where you're actually disabling him for a ridiculous amount of time. We will see what EG goes for with the next stage of picks, but for the moment, looks like it'll probably be, I would lean towards a solo mid Magnus and a defensive tri-lane Gyro, but if they want to go aggressive with these two, they certainly have that option. If they can get their hands on something like a Lina, or I was going to say Leshrac, they would definitely be looking to go aggressive, but they banned the Leshrac. So for EG, more likely, I think, to kind of play this defensive tri-lane, maybe even run a Jungle Prophet or something kind of greedy as their final pick.
Yeah, I think the big thing here is that Fnatic.NA need these strong 5 position supports more than EG do. EG already have the Bane. Sure, they can combo Bane with a Leshrac or Lina, but right now, definitely Fnatic.NA needs something like a 5 position support, which is going to be your Leshrac, Lina, Jakiro, or maybe a Rubik. So that's what we're sort of looking to see EG ban out. And as for Fnatic.NA, they ban out the Chen as well as the Clockwork. I'd like to see something like a Nature's Prophet ban, because Nature's Prophet really tore them apart in Game 1.
And the thing is, for EG, like we mentioned, I just run Prophet in the jungle, defensive tri-lane, Bane, Gyro +1, and Magnus solo mid. And for, you know, Fnatic.NA is probably not going to contest, so if you don't ban the Prophet, then EG can just get greedy, and there's really not a whole lot, I feel, that Fnatic.NA could do to punish that. So aside from maybe getting greedy and picking up a jungler of their own, they could run the Darkseer in the jungle if they want. But, I mean, at the same time, I think EG, like you said, are happy to trade farm, especially when they have Gyro Mag and they have a Bane. The Bane will make the lifesteal less effective later on. The Magnus Gyro combo makes the Gyro even more effective when he's not in BKB. He'll get the Empower, and you always have RP to follow up and to set up the cooldown, the flat cannon shots. So I think EG are even more fine to trade this game than they were last game, just because they have such a ridiculously potent late game, and they can counter what Fnatic.NA brings to the table.
Yeah, they really can, and I think that's really the big issue for Fnatic, where these last two picks, they have to sort of mix things up a bit and sort of throw a curveball out there, because right now, EG already have heroes to deal with the Lifestealer. Darks is not someone who you really have to deal with. He's going to get levels if he wants to go to the jungle. In the offlane, is not really... You can shut him down, push him out, but right now they've got answers for the Lifestealer. Nyx Assassin, if he gets levels, can cause some problems, but the way EG sort of play with this early game-centric lineup of theirs, it looks like they're not going to have to worry too much about that.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They actually opted to ban the Bounty Hunter in the end, so not choosing to ban out that Nature's Prophet. Will EG look to snap it up right here? We will see. The Lifestealer Bomb's not available, like you mentioned, and, well, the Rubik pick. So the one thing with trying to ban out a bunch of supports like EG was doing is you can't really ban all those 5-position supports, not when so many slip through the pool. So one of the best ones gets through in the Rubik. They had their choice of the Rubik or the Shadow Demon. Demonic Purge is pretty good against a hard carry like Gyro if it goes late enough, but they'll go for the Rubik, so they want to be able to steal that RP, and if they can steal it and they vacuum into RP, Fnatic.NA potentially have the stronger team fight or the equally strong team fight, but can he actually steal it and get it off? Gonna be tough when this is most likely a 4 or probably even a 5-position Rubik.
Yeah, that's a lot of ifs, and then you're looking at these... I think EG have good positional heroes where that's not likely to be the case, because Bane is not going to be looking to sit anywhere near sort of the main center of the fight. Gyrocopter can just sit back and flat cannon people. Depending on what these last two picks are, if they get heroes like a Nature's Prophet or other raid heroes who are good at sort of moving around the fight, something like a Queen of Pain, then it's very unlikely, even with an RP stolen, that we could see the fight get turned around by Fnatic.NA. Vacuum could look to set something like that up, but I think Rubik's going to really just struggle to steal RP in general.
If you're just tuning in, EG currently leading this best of 3, 1-0. If they win this match, they will move on to face the winner of Team Liquid versus Kaida. That match currently going on twitch.tv/Beyond the Summit 2 for EG now, looking at their 4th pick. Could see something like a lead at a combo with the Bane. Also, if you want to run a defensive tri-lane, which I imagine they do, based on the fact that they were banning all the really strong, well, 2 of the stronger tri-lane supports anyway, they could go aggressive, but I just have this feeling EG kind of wants to play this defensively and farm it up. But if they do, something like Alina is great for farming stacks. Something like a Shadow Demon, if they really want to punish the lifesteal, is an option, although I feel like you want that AoE stun at this point. So we'll see what they go for, but plenty of choices here for EG. They'll take the profit now, so denying the potential greed for Fnatic.NA. And, well, if EG want to go aggressive tri-lane, they can run the Prophet safely, the Magnus mid, and a Gyro Bane +1. Very strong tri-lane, but it's a Lifestealer Rubik tri-lane, which is pretty defensive and hard to kill in its own right. So we'll see if EG actually gets aggressive here.
Yeah, and if EG spot out, that's going to be... Well, I think for EG, if they want to run an offlane Nature's Prophet and they see a safe lane tri-lane with a Rubik Lifestealer, Nature's Prophet can just go straight to the jungle, which is sort of... It's the beauty of both these lineups. They pick offlane heroes who can go straight to the jungle if need be. It means if they're against a tri-lane, they can just say, okay, I'll get my farm elsewhere. I can get my XP elsewhere. Both Darkseer and Nature's Prophet great at that. Darkseer especially.
Yeah, and for Fnatic.NA, that would be a small victory for them, just because Darkseer is going to jungle a lot more quickly than a Nature's Prophet. So, in that sense, perhaps they pull slightly ahead in the laning stage, but for EG, they just look towards the mid-game, the late game with this lineup, where Fear's Gyro sitting on 3, even once he gets a BKB and 1 other item, it's going to be hard for anyone for EG to sit in the fight. So, if it gets to that mid-game and he's intact, look out if you're EG, or if you're Fnatic.NA, but Fnatic.NA, they'll round things out with a puck, so looking like a solo mid puck, probably a defensive tri-lane, Nyx, Lifestealer, Rubik, and then a jungle or offlane Darkseer, depending on what EG chooses to do. The one issue with going aggressive tri-lane as well for EG is, yeah, you have the Prophet +3 for that offensive tri-lane, but then you're a Darkseer versus Prophet matchup that Darkseer will constantly be pressuring the tower, can even look to dive and kill you, and even if he's not killing you, if you leave the lane, you're losing the tower. So I think for EG, they'll look to play defensive tri-lane as a result.
Yeah, I agree. Nature's Prophet, I think, breaks even against a Darkseer 1v1, but if you leave the lane going for a gank, your tower goes down. Ogre Magi, the last pick, so
a
strong ganking duo. More lockdown. This is a cool little pick.
This is all about the Gyro. You get Bloodlust for the Gyro, now you have Empowered and Bloodlusted flat cannonning Gyro in the mid game. Look out. And what's worse is Bane makes your carry weaker, so the carry of EG gets even stronger. Fear on that gyrocopter. Going to be hitting incredibly hard if this goes late enough. Now, Chibi mentioned BKB removes all these buffs, but we'll see if that comes into play, and of course it won't last the whole fight in all cases. So with that being said, on the side of Team EG, leading the best of 3, 1-0. We have Fear, going to be playing that safe lane gyro. B-Diz on the support Bane. Had some nice Nyx play in the last game. We'll have Jo handling the Nature's Prophet, most likely going into the jungle, maybe into the off lane. Melk going to be on that Ogre Magi, playing that 4 position most likely. Has the smoke picked up already, so like you mentioned, a strong ganky duo if they want to go roaming. And Demon going to be handling that solo mid Magnus. We saw some great TA play from him last game. Can his Magnus live up to that? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, as for the Radiant team, we've got the captain, Keep Boston in your prayers, playing the Nyx Assassin, Hannah Montana on the Darkseer, F4L playing the Rubik. At the mid lane, we have got MSS or Mojo Stormsut on the puck. And then finally, as a safe lane solo, it's going to be the Lifestealer being played by Smurf.
So they're anticipating this lane. I guess so let's see. Looking at this tri-lane, aggressive tri-lane with the Nyx, Rubik, Darkseer. With the Ion Shell, you can really limit Fear's farm. At the same time, I don't really see you finding too many kills against what EG has. And actually, I could see EG being the ones to get the kills here. Plus, well, Jo could even go into the lane if he wants. Sure, Lifestealer is going to have a decent time. Has been pulled rather heavily. They're expecting an offlane Prophet. And Smurf will be having a good time in terms of farm. But still, you can get lane experience for Jo, which is probably more than he expected. And, well, he'll be able to TP in and join those fights. So I think this is pretty risky from Fnatic, I think is the way to put it.
Yeah, I think the big thing is here that Darkseer does better in the 1v1 against the Nature's Prophet than a Lifestealer does. And as an offensive trial, I think Darkseer or Lifestealer in the offensive trialing, I guess Darkseer is slightly better because he has more early level damage output as well as sort of farming ability, but it doesn't seem like the most logical way to do your lanes for Fnatic.
Well, the one thing is it's a one-position Lifestealer, so he has to get farm. If he doesn't, the game's over come mid-game. And I guess that's the thinking is, we don't really want to risk it tri-laning the Lifestealer, but we still want to pressure Fear. We don't want to let him have free farm this game, and, well, we'll see if it works out. I'm with you. I think it's going to be hard, but they will pull in Beatus off the bat, a little bit out of position. He will eat an Impale as well. And First Blood, well, not with a bang, but with a whimper, goes the way of Fnatic. And I didn't even get a First Blood notification from the game. Even Dota wasn't prepared for that one.
Wow, Dota was not prepared for that one. And EG were not prepared for these lanes because Nature's Prophet in the jungle. Lifestealer, he's going absolute free from the bottom lane. So it's not the optimal way to sort of lane things maybe for Fnatic. It is when you completely outthink EG. EG have completely left an empty lane for Lifestealer. And I don't normally like that sort of one position Lifestealer, especially when you don't have a secondary carry. They've got 2 sort of teamfight heroes in Puck as well as Darkseer. Normally you need a second source of damage because of how Lifestealer can get cut around. Either a Queen of Pain, a TA, one of those sort of heroes. Even a Nature's Prophet for some extra damage. But considering he's going to get complete absolute free farm, he may just be able to farm enough that he can carry this game.
Yeah, generally when you see a lot of the Chinese teams play Lifestealer, they'll run him as in a dual core lineup when they have something like a Gyrocopter or a Lone Druid. A Lone Druid being the ideal one, really, as the secondary carry. We'll see Prophet TP into the bottom lane. And the other thing is he doesn't have any buffs. He doesn't have something like Empower, Bloodlust on his side. But if he has this good of a start, he's already level 3. Jo will enter the lane. Uh-oh. A little bit of a lag spike there. Hiccup anyway, and it seems like everything's okay. He's going to have an easy time even with the Prophet in the lane because he had free farm for those first few levels. And also, he's been heavily pulled, so this is not going to affect his farm one bit.
He's got all the regen he could hope for. Having both Stout Shield and Cooling Blade means he shouldn't miss a single last hit. He shouldn't get harassed too badly, and if he does, he's got all that regen. So there's nothing really he has to worry about, and he can even look to just get aggressive and sort of look to hit Jo whenever Jo comes near. And this is a great way for Fnatic to lane things. Mid lane, we've got the Puck vs Mag matchup, which is pretty much a break-even lane, and especially considering the way that solo mid is spending a lot of time bottle crowing. So if Fnatic keep playing this top lane well, they're in a really good position.
Yeah, I mean, the Magnus has the better spammable nuke, but top lane will have a little bit of a, just mono burn for the moment, so no full aggression there. And well, bottom lane, Jo forced the TP out off the bat. Actually just TP to his tower. Didn't even go all the way back, but the problem is he's got no HP right now. He will tango up, and that's just Smurf throwing out 1 open wounds and hitting him a few times. Now picks up the Orb of Venom and boots. I love this build just to thoroughly zone Jo out of the lane. Make sure that Jo isn't doing anything to disrupt his farm or even getting too much of his own. 18 and 8. So hard for Jo at this point. He does get boots, but Smurf goes right back in. There's no teleport. He'll have to use his TP scroll to get away from this, and he will. But that's a huge disaster. He TPs back to the tower again. I feel like he might just want to go to base with that second one. Really out of regen.
He's running out of regen. He can resummon some more trees here, but he's getting destroyed at this bottom lane. I don't think he should have been sort of staying in the lane at this point, considering he was so far behind. But the fact he's behind isn't really his fault.
Hannah Montana gets slept, but a nice job to remove that sleep. The Impale comes out, hits 3. Actually, I think it was maybe the Rocket Barrage that removed it.
Like.
For a second, I thought a teammate did, but yeah, Rocket Barrage takes it off a little bit too soon and able to get out.
Well, the 3-man Impale really well placed by the Nyx Assassin, as we are going to see EG not find any kills at the top lane, which is really what they want to try and do, because the other 2 lanes, well, I guess bottom lane not going according to plan. Mag doing just fine at the mid lane, actually winning the CS war right now.
Yeah, and for the Puck, you can harass a little bit more, but in terms of what's the better farming ability, Shockwave just has such a low mana cost and cooldown. Really can't beat it in terms of that, and we'll see Demon heading towards the bottom. We're going to pick up an Invis here. And Demon having a good start could be the comeback mechanic for EG. Sure, they gave up a first blood top, but all things considered, Fear getting some farm, 15 CS for him, and well, if he heads bottom and kills off Smurf, even if Smurf's having this powerful start, and RP skewer into the tower, maybe if Smurf's diving, this Invis rune could be the avenue for that.
Yeah, he's going to go back mid lane to try finish off that level 6 first. And I imagine for Demon, just getting up the Arcane Boots, getting even level 7, it's going to be more worthwhile. He does actually hit the Puck with a Shockwave there. Out jukes him. Top lane. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as you look away for a second, the aggression heats up here. They'll throw beat is up and down, but not really sure where to go, and now the Rocket Barrage is doing work. A surge one way from Hannah Montana. He gets slept, and he looks to be dead. Demon's even TP'd in to join the fight. Rocket Barrage comes out. Hannah Montana caught out and picked off. And
secret shot.
Pharrell will be okay. So Jo does TP in, and that means even more farm for Smurf, but EG kind of get this top lane back under control.
Yeah, and even Demon came in for it, though. So they rotate 5 heroes, so Demon's rotation unnecessary. Nature's Prophet was hoping for that extra kill there. If you get it, it's worthwhile. So I think Nature's Prophet rotation was fine, even though they don't get the kill. But Demon going as well with his Invis rune means he's now only just going to hit level 6. Puck already there, and Puck with a TP scroll can look to counter gank some of these lanes. So I think even though EG get that kill at top lane, it's still Fnatic.NA with a slight edge here early on.
Yeah, it's a slight advantage. We saw last game the mid-game execution was just much better from EG. Will that be the case again? We'll have to wait and see, but EG now going to do a little bit of roaming. Milk rotating around. He is going to be maxing the Fire Blast. Generally, I think the way to go is you just leave Ignite at level 1. It doesn't really scale that great, and maxing out the Bloodlust is going to be crucial for him. The other thing is, Milk's probably not getting a lot of levels this game. Seems like he's the one who's been given the duty of trying to slow the lifesteal down, so we'll see what he goes for, but I would imagine a Bloodlust max coming first and leave Ignite at level 1 for the time being.
They tried to kill Demon at mid lane. They even dropped a Dream Coil for it, but you can skewer out of the Dream Coil. It stuns you, but it doesn't stop your skewer, so he still gets max distance away with that skewer, and the 2 supports behind the Puck unable to follow up with anything. So bit of wasted time coming out from Fnatic.NA.
That's why we have you here for when I'm completely missing the action mid. But yeah, no kills missed at least, so the streak alive.
Demon didn't even, he took 100 damage from Dream Coil.
Smurf goes in again on Jo. Jo forced the TP out this time. This time he'll go to base. Smurf says, get the hell out of my lane. And the funny thing is Melk's just sitting there, but really, what can he do?
Melk can just stand there and watch. Maybe get an early point in Bloodlust to give him some extra movement speed. I don't know. Because there's no stunning through this Rage, and he's now got... He's gone for a very unusual build. Only 2 points in Rage, 2 in Feast, 2 in Open Wound. So, very unusual.
It's the 1-1-1 opening. He's been playing a little StarCraft too. Now transforming into the 2-2-2. He'll go in again now, Milk. Will Open Wounds to start. He rages right as Milk is mid-cast animation, but there's just not the follow-up. Can they get a Rage for a stun? If they do, Milk is dead. Phase Boots continue to give chase. Milk turns around for the stun, but in doing so, he'll eat an Impale. Still, Demon comes in. RP catches out too. And now keep Boston your prayers in a lot of trouble, trying to run, trying to survive. Gets sprouted up, gets focused by the Prophet Ultimate. Shockwave to clean him up. And that's a one-position, free-farm lifestealer, 48 CS, who just threw his life away, and all of a sudden, Fear's going to catch up.
That's one of those silly moments which really separates those top-tier teams from teams who are kind of like trying to break in. That chase was just so silly. He was going to get the kill. He almost doesn't get the kill, but there was without it, at no point was there any doubt that he was going to go down for it. And that you just can't afford to throw your life away as a one-position carry for a kill on an Ogre Magi.
Yeah, maybe if you had just seen Demon use his teleport scroll to go back middle, and there was no way he could get there in time, but they don't even have a ward bottom, so they have no idea if he's rotating in. Jo will get trapped in here, and now he'll get lifted up as well. There will be an infest if necessary to burst him down, but it doesn't look like it's needed. So they do find a kill, and for Jo, I think it's like he said, just probably better off in the jungle. Meanwhile, middle lane, Demon kind of finessing around here, but not that's definitely not a verb, but I'm making it one anyway. Not able to find an opening. He won't go in. Orb comes in. Not going to connect. I really think Jo just better to jungle at this point. Can pop the ult if needed to defend the lane.
It feels like he's just been thrown off his game by that start, because playing from behind from level 1 against a lifestealer who'd been pulled that much is really difficult to do. So if he was in the bottom lane from the very start, he wouldn't have had that much trouble. He could get into a groove, see what lifestealer could throw at him, but he came to the lane where lifestealer had boots and an orb of venom almost right off the bat because of that sort of first 12 CS being uncontested, and Jo just not really in much of a groove right now.
Yeah, not really in much of a groove at all, but at the same time, he's still getting quite a good number of levels because of that rotation from Demon and the RP there. Actually has his ultimate online is level 7 at that max treant, so he could juggle quickly at this point. And as far as the levels go, Jay is getting what he needs, so I think just go to the jungle. It's a safe lane lifestealer. What's he going to do? He's going to farm. He's not going to push the tower that quickly. There's nobody to kill if you're not here. And it's like we talked about if this goes later and later. It's a one-position lifestealer with nothing to buff him, no RP, and no ultimates that go through BKB to support him. I think EG win this if it goes to the 30-40 minute mark. Fear is farming now, and the other thing is that Gyro is actually going to out-flash farm a lifestealer. Even with the slow start the Fear has, he's got a hum of the Dominator now. He has dominated his first creep. He's going to start stacking H-hits. And maybe if the lifestealer had gone for an early Midas, but that's not the case. So Fnatic.NA, they'll have to keep on finding ganks. They'll have to keep on being aggressive, and for EG, just sit back and farm.
Yeah, lifestealer though, it looks like he's not going to be looking to just continue farming. He's just got his phase boots and his drum of endurance as well. So he's got his 2 early game items, both giving him a lot of mobility. And it looks like he's going to go for a smoke gank because Nyx Assassin has a smoke, has joined up with lifestealer, and they've given the bottom lane to Rubik to help F4L get that fast level 6, and then we'll see lifestealer sort of take up that ganking role.
The one concern for me is this lifestealer is not level 6 yet. Yes, I feel if anyone should be going to the smoke gank into the Rubik, as important as stealing RP is, I think just forcing EG to buy those sentry wards is going to do more for your team overall, and of course possibly finding kills if they're not prepared. But for the moment, it's the Nyx who's playing that 5 position, it seems.
Yeah, Nyx not level 6, doesn't even have boots.
Yeah, doesn't even have boots.
Yeah. Unless he's got something sitting back at base, but no, he's got nothing on his stash, so no boots on Nyx Assassin. He will be going for a gank. We'll have to see where EG look to go. They could look to wrap around and maybe gank the bottom tier 3 tower, or they could go on mid. I feel going on mid is a very high risk play because it's going to be, it's going to be hard to stop Demon getting off an RP. Sure, you've got the puck with a level 3 silence. Maybe it's possible, but it's very risky because he's likely to back up. I think almost wrapping around, going for the bottom tier 3 tower, as well as whoever goes in to defend it, is maybe going to be a higher percentage play.
Yeah, and if you see those 2 heroes off the map, you now see just the Darkseer left alone top for Hannah Montana. And your Jo, you probably think, do I really want to defend this tower? But they may find Milk. No, they won't actually go for the smoke gank yet.
Nice,
I think it's fine. I mean, the Nyx, like you said, they just don't have the burst to kill off a hero like Mag before RPs. But if they get Vendetta, then maybe they can.
Well, Malk's back towards the bottom lane here, trying to be the lone defender. He needs to be careful because there is a Nyx Assassin in the river. And Nyx spots out Malk.
No follow-up, so not going to happen.
They just eye each other off, both realizing, well, neither has much damage output at this point in the game. Neither has any backup either.
How are you doing? Well, I'm fairly useless. How about you? Me too. Top lane, Hannah Montana gets slept. Now the call down comes. Rocket Barrage to fly as well. There will be an Infest Bomb coming top. And with that on cooldown, potentially something where they look to go here. Spotted by a lane ward.
Yeah, lane one spotted him, but Puck can chase if he really wants to. He can even try and risk diving this tower. Bane is level 6, but doesn't have mana for the Fiend Script.
This is going to be so bad if they do. Demon has a TP scroll and a haste rune. He's going to TP to the tier 2, anticipating they might stick around. If he catches the RP here on Puck, we may see 2 heroes die.
Beatus has mana for a Fiend Script if he pops the Magic Stick as well, so Lifestealer, even if he goes in, could get gripped up in the Rage form.
And no vision for Fnatic. This looks very bad. Well, is Demon going to go?
Mag. He's got a haste rune. He's going for the wraparound, I imagine, and Fnatic should at least sniff that something's up, because EG have had so much time to react to this.
Well, the one thing is the mid lane's been pushed into the tower.
They've seen that they've dewarded the lane ward now. So for Fnatic, they know something's up because everything was spotted. If you get spotted trying to 3-4 man gank top, it means EG are prepared for
bottom lane onto Milk. Smurf, nice rates there. Right as Milk actually tries to cast that Fire Blast, does have a little bit of a cast animation, and Milk will go down. But the big news is really that a lot of wasted time for a lifestealer, and is going for the ganky build. Sure, he gets this kill bottom, but sat inside of the puck for a good minute top, and as a one-position lifestealer, not going for items to help you farm faster, not having Empower to help you farm faster, that time is incredibly precious. Mid lane, the action breaks out. Demon not able to RP because the silence was there, now gets it off, thrown up in the air, RP was stolen, goes the other way. Is this enough? Where's the damage for this for these EG heroes? It seems like they're all living. Demon even fights the kill, hastes away. Now the Fiend Script as well. Beatus will go down. Was the Fiend Script stolen too? I thought, no, sorry, no Fiend Script. I'm just hallucinating there. And, well, in the end, Bane and Prophet go down. No, there was a feed script. Just got canceled really quickly, I guess.
Yeah, it seems... I think he died right off the bat. He didn't actually need to cancel it. He just killed off the Bane. Puck getting the kill on the Bane while he was gripping the Rubik there. So Lifesteal also getting the Tier 1 bottom tower. So really good engagement coming out from Fnatic in the mid lane. And Lifesteal's looking to go back on Demon at bottom lane. He has got the skewer, so... Doesn't look like we're going to see Lifestealer going for a kill, but Lifestealer now starting to get to work on his armlet. Yeah,
looking at the gold graph after that big fight, I mean, before that, they were leading by like 750. After that engagement, up by about 2k gold, a little bit over that. 1,500 experience. I don't feel like that's enough. I feel like against this EG team, you need way more than that to feel comfortable, just because of the hero composition and the state of the game, where they got the tier 1 bottom, but aside from that, EG still control their own jungle. We'll see Fear get caught out, potentially by this Nyx assassin. Iron Shell burning him down. They need to go soon, though. They'll hit the Impale. Doesn't actually start with the Vendetta Strike. Will that cost them the kill? Potentially could. Nope, not the case. We'll see Fear drop, and now Keep Boston Your Prayers dropping low as well. Jo joins the fight. Keep Boston Your Prayers goes down, but they get a crucial kill on Fear there. So I think all things considered, definitely worth it for Fnatic.
Yeah, they'll take that trade. It was so they didn't want to lose the Nyx assassin, but hey, they're trading it for some farm as well elsewhere on the map. Lifesteal going to be having his armlet very, very soon. He's got the recipe, just needs the other 2 small components, and we've got mid lane. Park getting more levels, more farm, Blink Dagger up in just 100 gold.
So the one interesting thing which we didn't catch in the midst of all this action is the Ancients actually got warded by Fnatic.NA.
Okay.
So Fear going for the early Helm of the Dominator hasn't gotten a single stack off yet. That's actually a huge loss. You normally at this point would have 3-4 stacks, can look to farm it with the Prophet Trance immediately. You don't even have to wait to get any more damage items before doing so. But with the Helm of the Dominator, not able to stack the Ancients, effectively this item does almost nothing for you. The lifesteal's okay in lane, the sustain is alright, the damage and the armor are decent, but at the end of the day, there are so many better items. You could get a Yasha working towards a BKB. If you're not able to stack the Ancients, it's a huge waste. And he's even going to go for it again. Maybe didn't realize that there's a ward here. Now he definitely will know.
Yeah, now he'll definitely know. And it's like you say, it does give good stats, but it's not an item you get first, because it doesn't really offer anywhere near as much as something like a Yasha, your drums. You only get it first for the stacking. And we are going to see Puck now pick up his Blink Dagger and immediately infested Lifestealer into him. He's looking for a gank at top. He's smoked up, and EG need to be very, very careful.
This could be huge. Demon isn't here yet. There's your Infest Bomb. The Coil catches too. The Silence as well. Dropping fast, but Fear alive. Man's up, gets the cooldown off. The RP that was stolen by Rubik deployed again. Still had it from the last fight. Brain's Beat is low. Can they kill him off? It's already 2 that hit the decks. Beat is on the run. Iron Shell Lifestealer not even hitting. Kind of a cloudy little engagement there. And, well, Demon was actually bottom lane. Had a TP scrolled. I could have joined the fight, but I just don't feel like he would have been able to do too much. There's so many ways for Fnatic to kite him without that blink. In the end, they'll go for the trade. They will get the blink on Demon soon.
Yeah, they want to get this blink up as fast as possible, so taking this tier 1 bottom tower in return will get him actually enough gold for it. So we'll have to see if Fnatic.NA, it looks like they're not interested in pressuring the tier 2 at top at all. Considering how fast EG are respawning, probably the wisest decision. They can get back, get some more farm, and, well, F4L, he's stolen Brain Sap, which is another great spell to steal. 300 damage as a nuke.
Yeah, F4L is really the story of this game so far for Fnatic.NA. Stolen RP, used it twice, now steals Brain Sap, hits like a truck.
You always get that 300 health back regardless, so it's a great nuke to have, even regardless of how much damage it does. You're getting 300 HP regen, so for a squishy hero like Rubik, that helps a lot.
Yeah, if he can cast Brain Sap. He's a little bit squishier than Bane in terms of his strength gain. He might just die bottom outright. Outright, Demon says, steal my RP now, Rubik! But he will get the Brain Sap off. F4L may be able to turn this around a little bit. No, he'll go down in the end, but, I mean, it helps him live a little longer. They rotate a hero in. All things considered, AG get a kill, but it's an RP for Rubik. And if you're Fnatic, you probably look at this and say, alright, we know you have a blink. We know you just used RP. We're going to try and dive your gyro. We're going to try and be aggressive for some other kills.
Yeah, interesting choice. I guess at this point, EG just going to take whatever little kills they can get with the RP. Something which we see like a lot of the Chinese teams do especially. They love to go just for solo kills with RP because they don't really play teamfight heavy Dota. It's
a little bit normally more focused. We'll see top lane, they go on Fear. There's your open wounds coming out and he'll go down. So they get a kill and it's on a core hero. The RP from the China, oh, they'll skewer Smurf up almost onto the cliff. I don't know if I think you can cliff skewer that one. I don't think that's been patched up, but in the end, won't quite do it. Now Keep Boston Your Prayers actually gets his Carapace off here. It looks like he will take a fall. And then Smurf just gonna hightail it out of there. Ain't nobody catching this Lifestealer, not with that move speed. The rotation will come in from Hannah Montana as well as Mojo Stormstout, and Invis picked up for him. And the mech up on the Darkseer, so getting all these key items now. The Lifestealer with all his utility items has the armlet, some cheap, cost-effective damage, and now mech as well as Blink, which has been out for a little while. Fnatic.NA, RP is down. Let's go fight.
Yeah, and for the Dire team, the item progression just isn't there. Fear, He's just got treads on top of that Helm of the Dominator. A couple deaths since picking up his Helm of the Dominator, and no Ancient stacking. I mean, there's not really much gold being invested. He now starts the Ancient stacking. It looks like he's got 3 stacks here after dewarding it, but this is going to be very, very late and slow farm for Fear.
Yeah, it was just a great recognition by Fnatic.NA. Probably saw the Helm of the Dominator in lane, and then just immediately warded off that camp. In the midst of all the action, didn't actually catch it, but I imagine that is what happened. So, good awareness, good recognition for them. Otherwise, sure, Fear's died a few times. He probably farms his Mithril Hammer just off of clearing that stack, and, you know, suddenly the BKB's a lot closer. So he can look to farm it now, but could have done it. Could have cleared one big stack by this point if left unchecked, so slowing him down.
Geo up bottom lane. Nyx Assassin's there. It's going to catch him out. And there's going to be a Sentry Ward there to prepare for the Shadow Blade, but it looks like, oh, he's going to just try TP.
We're staying fast. Gets him.
Oh, what a play.
And Wallace is happening. EG. 4-man smoke. Here we go.
Well, if they can get a big RP off here, it's going to work out for them. Nyx Assassin looks like he's walking directly at him, but 4-man smoke for a Nyx Assassin isn't really the best pickup.
Yeah, and he even is going to carapace his way out, but it doesn't matter. It looks like he will go down. Well, maybe not. There's something stolen. A blink in by Mojo Storms down. There's your coil as well. The wall deployed, not really in the best spot. 2 heroes RP'd. Can it be stolen? No, Shockwave was already used. Not going to happen. It looks like Rubik only able to steal Skewer in the end. Now Demon on the run, trying to escape. Caught in the trees. He'll blink away. He'll blink south. He even throws a Shockwave out. Kills off 1, but he might die. No, he gets away 2. Almost got a double kill. Just narrowly missing Mojo Storms out there. Keep busting your prayers. Also going to TP away. Tier 1 and Deny Rage mid. What a ridiculous chain of events from Demon. In the end, turns out to be an alright fight for them, all things considered.
Yeah, 3 heroes on Fnatic.NA were less than 50 HP. The Nyx Assassin who narrowly avoided dying, and then the Puck as well. Well, the Puck as well as the Darkseer who did die in the end, but EG just so narrowly missing out on killing a few heroes. It's because they just threw down their big AoE spells like the cooldown, the Mag RP, but they didn't look to follow up and kill off those heroes because Fnatic.NA have too much of a farm lead. They turned that fight around so well with its Smurf's Lifestealer.
Yeah, as well as with the mech. The mech was huge there, caught at least 2 or 3 heroes and gives them the extra armor as well, so the flat cannon not hurt to use much, but good news for Fear, he's getting his Ancients now, so the comeback, the catch-up will begin. He's got a lot of catching up to do, looking at the net worth of these 2 heroes. I mean, it's, what is it, a 4K? No, like a 4K difference in terms of net worth. That's a pretty significant gap, even though you have Empower and Bloodlust, so sure you don't need quite as many items as the game goes later, but he still needs quite a few. Yeah, for the moment, Fear just stealing other stacks, stealing these big neutrals. EG even see him. They see him doing this, and they're just not even going to try and contest it.
No, it looks like they're just going to completely let him do that, and now EG need to be careful mid lane, because a blink in from Puck and heroes will die very, very fast, unless Demon can sort of get that counter RP off right away, which is up in 5 seconds, so EG patiently waiting for that, and then maybe we'll see them look to sort of re-engage, but I don't think EG want to be the ones engaging. They just want to use that RP as a countermeasure for sort of Puck and Lifestealer looking for that drop.
Full Fierce cleared the Ancients out now, unfortunately not able to get a fresh stack, so up to another 900 gold, has his Ogre Club, really needs a BKB. Once he gets that, I feel the fights get easier for them, but he'll still need another item before he really hits hard, and well, can he farm that extra item? We'll see. Some time being spent by our Lifestealer inside of Mojo's Storm Stout, so no farm right now for Smurf. They are going to push in the middle lane. Ultimate Orb already up for Mojo Storm Stout, so getting fat, the Scythe device coming soon. They'll even smoke, but EG has just seen them running down, but do they know? That's the thing. There's your Blink RP, catches out a few. It doesn't catch the Lifestealer or the Puck, though. Could be trouble for them. Skewer up onto the high ground for Demon, trying to live through it all. Smurf now being Fiend's Grip, but the vacuum will cancel that. And can they kill up this Lifestealer? That's the big question. It looks like with some good armlet toggling, he may yet live. He may even turn around. There will be a net from Fear. Good micro in the midst of this fight, but it looks like not quite enough. Needs to tank this missile while he's still enraged. He will do so. When it's all said and done, 2 for 2, and it looks like only the supports have died.
Yeah, and Demon needs to be careful. Skewer on cooldown for a bit longer, but nope, we're not going to see Smurf go after him. And Fnatic, they get out of there. It's like you say, the 2 supports died. Puck, he sort of blinked out as Demon was going for the RP, and both him and Smurf managed to do a ton of damage there because of the fact they didn't get caught out.
Yeah, and these RPs from Demon, I mean, it's not like they've even been bad. They're just not translating into kills. He's been hitting 2 or 3 heroes, but they just don't have the follow-up. And the reason is, well, Fear, going Helm of the Dominator as well as Ogre Club doesn't give you much damage. It's also not a build where you really want to fight. You want to finish your BKB, you want to get that next item. So, essentially, EG is fighting 4v5, and then you have heroes like Ogre, who, it's basically, he casts his 2 spells, that's it. You know, he's not going to do any damage with his auto attacks in the fights. You have a Prophet with the Shadow Blade, who, if he runs into the midst of all that damage, all that AoE, probably going to die. So, could even argue it's 2 or 3v5 with just the RP and, you know, maybe a little bit of follow-up from, you know, Shockwave, Fiend's Grip potentially, but EG is not fighting 5v5 team fights right now.
Yeah, that last, I mean, like you said, there isn't much fault. The follow-up plan for EG last game was to Fiend Script the Lifestealer, which he got the rage off, he got Fiend Script afterwards, but there was no actual damage to kill him off. He got taken out of the fight for 5-6 seconds, but they couldn't actually kill him, and now Fear, he looks very dead.
This could be so big. Yeah, he really is very dead.
And first hit Bash, I think it was?
Yeah, I think he would have been dead there anyway, but they might have lost a few in the chase, so we'll see if they lose anyone now. Keep us in your prayers. We'll get Fiend Script. They have an Observer Ward on the high ground. That's how they see him. And now skewered in. Ding, ding, ding. Melka to pick up that kill, but problem is they've blown Fiend Script, and there's a Bashful Lifestealer in the middle of this fight. Coil gonna catch out Melka as well, not breaking it yet. He'll try to, it doesn't matter. This Lifestealer wants some food, wants some Demon. He's on the chase. Demon has Blink. Doesn't have Skewer though. Could look to Blink into these trees. Smurf gonna try and force him to do so. He will. He'll TP out. But EG, they keep on losing their Gyrocopter, and it's. I feel they don't have late game if he dies this much. Sure, they have it if he gets the farm, but blocking off the Ancients, ganking Fear repeatedly, killing him repeatedly. I think this is actually the kind of situation where Fnatic can take the late.
Yeah, right now it's more so the Nature's Prophet who offers a late game threat, but Nature's Prophet is fighting Hannah Montana at the bottom lane. It looks like Hannah Montana is going to be okay. He does get snared up and immediately TPs to Skewer Harp even being used. They really wanted Hannah Montana at the bottom lane. EG saying, we'll take any kill we can get right now.
Yeah, it almost feels a little desperate to blow an RP there. Sure, you kill the Darkseer, an important hero, but this is not the laning stage anymore. This is not the early to mid game. This is, well, it is the mid game, but it's not the early game anymore. It's now a point where Fnatic, maybe they look to go Roche off of that. Maybe they look to take your tier 2 mid, so, or even just farm your jungle, get some aggressive wards up and have confidence in doing so. So they do find the kill, not necessarily a bad thing, but something potentially Fnatic can exploit, and what makes it maybe even easier to exploit is they now have a Blink Dagger and FRL, so going to be much easier to steal things like RP as well as Fiend Script. They will find Fiend is, and well, not going to do anything to save him, so monster kill for Mojo Stormstout, really playing like a boss. And now Fear, Fiend Script up, it was stolen by FRL, he'll die. No, maybe he'll even die for that, not even sure. He's going to try to TP away, but he's ticking down low. The deny, I don't actually know if you can deny Ignite, but not able to anyway in the end. So when it's all said and done, they killed the Gyro again.
Man, this Gyro is really suffering. Demon going to TP his way out of the bottom lane. Maybe. No, there's a Dream Coil. Demon's caught.
No, the Blink Silence is there, actually, and the Dream Coil as well. Down he'll go. Man, Fnatic is just really stomping EG so far in this game.
Yeah.
It's not even the gold or experience difference. It's just every fight for Fnatic seems to be gravy. And sure, EG are taking some fights and getting some kills, but they're on heroes that aren't really crucial at this point. Darkseer, he's got his basic items up. We'll see Jo, maybe even trouble. No follow-up. He'll be fine.
And so far, it's come down to the solo play from the Fnatic.NA players. They had Mojo Stormstout on the solo mid puck, who's set up so many good fights, and then Smurf at the bottom lane on Lifestealer. The trial lane did its job, which was sort of to break even and just distract and cause as many problems as it could for EG. But it was the solo players who were sort of pulling Fnatic.NA into the lead.
Yeah, and the thing is, Scythe of Ice is coming soon, so good luck to Jo trying to split push once that's up. That's now 2 ways to cancel his TP, even if he uses a TP scroll, and 3 if he's trying to teleport out. And I think this is really trouble for them, because for EG, where's the item progression? They're not really building any additional items. Ultimate Orb up on Jo, that's nice, but it's not a completed Scythe of Ice, which, as mentioned, is coming soon for a puck. The bigger issue is Fear, who still sits on an Ogre Club. Does he even have the Mithril Hammer yet? He doesn't. I feel by the time he gets this BKB, they're going to lose all their outer towers and potentially even give away a Roche.
And Smurf's got Abyssal Blade. He's not even worried about picking up any sort of smaller item right now. Straight Abyssal Blade. He'll have that stun to go through the BKB of Fear even when it's up.
And he's going to hit like a truck, even without any buffs. Lifestealer at this point in the game, it is prime. Man, he hurts. Just look at these Ancients, how quickly they die. He's not raged. He doesn't even have Armlet active, which you definitely can do when you're farming these, but doesn't need it. Smurf, just level 17. Hannah Montana Mystic Staff up, so maybe a Shiva's Guard for him, potentially a double Scythe device for this team if they want it. And EG, not even going to defend their outer tower. They have all their cooldowns. They have Fiend Script, they have RP, they give the tower up for free. You know EG doesn't want to do this, but they don't really have a choice.
They do get the tier 1 top with Geo. He looks like he did some backdooring at the top lane, got the tier 1, but it's a small game for him. Geo trying to get aside the visor, but he's also going to be hitting level 16, so Geo right now, to me, it seems to be EG's main hope for a sort of a quasi-carry. He's going to have a lot of damage from a level 3 Wrath of Nature. He's going to have a side device in the next maybe 5 minutes or so if he does well, but it's still, I don't think it's enough. Like you've said, it just feels like EG are too far behind and the BKB on Gyro coming way too late.
Yeah, I actually misspoke. Apparently, I think the Mithril Hammer was on the ground or something. Wasn't on the courier, but looks like Fear did have it, so he'll have the BKB. I don't know if it's enough. It's like you said, the Abyssal Blade. You Abyssal Fear in the midst of the fight, you whack on him as this Lifestealer enraged. I think he's dead, so the one thing for EG is if they can somehow it's going to be hard, but if they can somehow prevent F4L from stealing either Fiend's Grip or RP, or even say the Ogre Stun, if they could somehow prevent him from stealing those ults and turning the fights, then maybe a big RP, a well-timed Fiend's Grip on Smurf could be enough. But if F4L's proper positioning, which he should be able to with this Blink Dagger, I think it's Fnatic's game to lose right now.
Yeah, into Roshan, Fnatic go. EG poking around as if they may contest this, but this is going to be so difficult. Unless Fnatic make a mistake in positioning and let themselves get caught out by a 4-5-man RP, it's going to be really difficult for EG to contest Roshan.
Mojo storms out, Haste turn is up, he is infested, they're smoking, they're heading down the lane, but EG...
It's the fake Rosh.
Yeah, let's see. EG just back to the base, they're smoked as well. I don't think EG leaves their base right now. They will see a few heroes, but even so.
This is why EG just have to give up Roshan, and I think Fnatic.NA were sort of expecting them to contest Roshan, think they could get some smoke kills, but the smart move from EG is just to sit back, give him Roshan, push out lanes using Nature's Prophet, or have him farm. I mean, he's pushed out top and bottom pretty well, he's farming now in his own neutrals, but that's all EG can do. 4 heroes sit in their own base, and then Nature's Prophet farming somewhere else on the map.
The one thing I would like to see from Fnatic is a gem. With this kind of a lead, you could definitely afford it. Your Nyx, maybe he saves for the Blink Dagger, but Rubik has his Blink. He doesn't really need too many items, so I feel that's the one thing they're missing. It would help them a lot with the map control, as well as doing things like this Rosh safely. It's very obvious the Roshi, because the tower bottom is dropping rapidly for Fnatic, so... potentially giving away a tier 2 here. They really need to make sure they get this Roshan. EG, they now look to contest this. Will they be able to? They lose the tier 2 bottom just to creeps. They're still trying to Rosh. Smurf is going to go in. Catches out Milk, but Milk thrown up in the air, and Smurf now diving onto Demon, trying to find him. The Blink silence is there, but Demon has BKB. He could look for an RP. Potentially, Skewer will catch Mojo Storm down. Orbs away. Not able to get out. He gets stunned. Now Fiend's Grip held in position. There's your call down. A nice call down, catching 3. And now the vacuum backwards. F4L. Only stolen Bloodlust so far in this fight. Doesn't matter though. Smurf on the chase. It looks like Smurf is just too big. Kills off 2. Wants Demon as well. Demon to fall. Gets stunned. F4L able to just auto attack and bring him down. They also lose a gem for EG. So now a great fight for Fnatic. Good news for EG. They actually got the tier 2 top and bottom. They are giving up Roche, but they're trading fairly evenly in the fight.
I think that from a goal point of view, it's a 2 for 3 trade. For EG get a couple towers, but it was just not the best executed fight from EG. You mentioned the Fiend's Grip killing off the puck. It was also the RP. Demon wanted to kill off the puck, prevent him from orbing out of there, so he RP'd as the Fiend's Grip came out. They only need to use one of those 2 ultimates, and as a result, it didn't go according to plan.
Oh,
Nyx.
Jo, very clever play. Sprouts inside the pit, creates some chance to give him vision, and then low ground to high ground. Also picked up a Scythe device, able to get a kill. Wanted, I think, to deny the Aegis with those trans, but not able to do so.
This feels like something EG are great at, just sort of winning these games, which they shouldn't.
They're a scrappy team. They're a very scrappy team.
Not saying they're winning this game, they're still well behind, but there's sort of this feeling about it, this air to this game where Geo and this Nature's Prophet, if he counter pushes enough, if he gets big enough, maybe EG can still win.
I still feel like it's Fnatic's game to lose, but only slightly now. Is Fear, BKB up 20 to 100 gold with all those towers that went down, as well as getting some experience and gold in that fight earlier at Roche. I feel like Fear gets that one item. That's probably enough for EG, because if they hit a big RP, well, Lifestealer is going to die to it. Say an MKB Gyro, now gets himself an Alpha Wolf, which won't really help you in the fight, since I imagine it'll die instantly, but great for farming faster at that.
Yeah, it is, and we'll see EG in a bit of trouble bottom lane if they get caught. It looks like they are just going to TP out back to safety here as Smurf has sort of showed up. He's got the Aegis, he's also got 4k gold, so next item should be coming soon. The problem is it means he has to sell his drums or either drop his TP scroll. I imagine he may just look to drop his TP scroll and pick up an item slot there.
Yeah, drums are just too good at this point in the game, and especially the synergy they have with something like Phase Boots, just giving you so much chasing power in the fights. They have stolen Bloodlust, which, I mean, I mentioned not really the best ability. It's also only level 1 is the main thing. If this is a max Bloodlust, maybe it's big, but even then, Lifestealer is still going to rage his way out of it. So, I think for me, the reason Fnatic didn't convincingly win that fight is that F4 wasn't able to steal a big spell. If he steals an RP or a Fiend's Grip, it's a much different fight. So keep an eye on him. Could definitely turn the tides, depending on what he's able to grab.
Yep, well, it looks like Fnatic.NA haven't had enough. They're going to be marching down the middle lane with a stolen Bloodlust on this Lifestealer just leading the charge, and Well, in the rear is Hannah Montana surging himself, so this is going to be a 5-man push with Aegis. The main thing is here, you put Smurf on the high ground, he just sieges the tower, he pops a Rage when he sees maybe some disables coming his way, and once Rage is about to wear off, he can back off.
Oh, Demon does get impaled, now the blink in from F4L, actually going to lift him up, throw him back, now the Hex to come, Demon is dead, can he buy back? That's the question, he will do so now. Now the Fiend's grip on Smurf, cancelled by a well-placed Dream Coil, the mini stun is there, but the RP coming out in the midst of the chaos, stolen, and then turned around, maybe, just maybe. I don't know if it's enough. When it's all said and done, the lifesteal goes down, but he does still have Aegis. The RP is now down, and now Smurf, he's gonna open wounds, but he's trapped inside of the trees. He'll now come in, hits one. Can he kill off more? There's no Fiend Script, there's no RP. They can only use regular stuns to deal with him. No Rage, he's still diving. Probably overextended at this point. Looks like Smurf is gonna fall. That's an 800 gold death, and on top of it, well, they don't get Rex, they don't get the tier 3. EG, a scrappy team, they find a way. Do force out a buyback on 2, the Prophet and the Mag, but still, gotta say, EG's happy with that.
They're a scrappy team, but Fnatic.NA had it. The mistake is just one big thing. They went diving for the kills. All they had to do was slow siege. Any top tier team would just be slow sieging with the lifestealer there, chipping away at the tower, but Fnatic.NA, they saw Demon and they're like, hey, we can kill Demon. Killing Demon isn't going to win you the fight. If anything, it loses them the fight. Demon has buyback. With or without buyback, it's still not going to be a smart percentage play. Or they could have just taken a tier 3 tower uncontested there. Maybe even taken Raxes just by having the lifestealer go to town on them. There was nothing really to kill lifestealer with the backup Fnatic.NA have, so they just got way too impatient.
And off of that, EG are going to smoke directly out of their base. The thing is, all the lanes are pushing, so oftentimes you do this late game, it's kind of obvious, but this game, not so much the case. Demon actually going to be revealed on the high ground. I think he walked too close to the tower there, but doesn't matter. There's your sight from Jo. They're going to start off, keep Boston, your prayers will fall. And EG just marching down the middle lane now. Fear, Demon edge up. If they get a couple of towers here, he gets money for a Divine Rapier. Well, you're slightly behind. Maybe you pick that up and Roche respawning in 5 minutes. Or even if you go MKB, all of a sudden things looking much brighter for EG. Fnatic.NA really starting to lose momentum. It was never a commanding lead in terms of gold or experience. It was always just the map control and the state of the game that was really favoring them, and now all of that slipping away.
It should have been enough of a lead that they could have turned it into a commanding lead. They had the map control, they had the superior items, they had the better team fight in general. Sure, you have to worry about a mag, but we'd seen Rubik come up with some good counter initiations with the stolen RP. We'd seen Darkseid with some nice vacuum walls, and Fnatic with Sheepstick up, Shiver's Guard up, the completed Abyssal Blade on Lifestealer. They had everything they could hope for, and EG had next to nothing. It was just a blink on mag and a Jarakopt with a BKB, but Fnatic.NA, they don't manage to solidify that strong lead, and all of a sudden, EG, they're almost back to even now.
Yeah, they really are, and they have the Prophet, so they have the better split push. They have the Gyro who pushes faster than really anyone else as well, once he gets that next item up, and we'll see what Fear goes for. I imagine for EG, still safe for buyback at this point, as your racks are currently not exposed, but in jeopardy if you lose a big fight. They still have Glyph, they have RP, and I'm going to do a quick buyback check since we have a moment. It's Lifestealer, Gyro, as well as Puck. Those are your 3 heroes with buyback, but Demon's is cooling down in 2 minutes, so that's the one thing for Fnatic. If they kill Demon in this fight, no buyback for him.
Yeah, this needs to succeed for Fnatic. They're doing this with no Aegis, like you say. There is buyback on the Lifestealer, but he can't really get back to the fight unless he sort of sells something for a boost of travel, which I don't think he's got enough gold for, but this time it's going to be the slow siege. They can't go diving for those kills. Maybe they can for the mag because he won't have buyback, but the safer way is just go for the tier 3 tower, which is what we're seeing. Smurf does some damage, backs off when the Rage is about to wear off, as well as the Glyph being used.
One issue for them is last time they had the Aegis, this time they don't. So, I mean, sure they can wail away on this Rax, but if Smurf does get caught and dies, even if he boots to travel, buys back, joins the fight, by the time he gets there it'll be much later and maybe an already lost fight. Whereas when you have the Aegis, you're right in the middle of things.
Yeah, the thing is it's always that slow siege. With a Lifestealer, you have to go up for 3-4 seconds. Before Rage wears off, you back off.
He will get the tower, it looks like, but the Blink RP is going to catch him. Stolen immediately by F4 now, and now he'll buy this time. He's got a Blink dagger as well. They've got to be careful. Blink in! RP catches 3. Can the Lifestealer do his work? He's low. Shiva's Guard deployed as well. Mojo Stormstout gets a double. Triple kill for him. Lifestealer doing a lot of work in this fight as well. And now Fear on the run. Milk on the run. No buyback on Demon. No RP. Anyway, Fnatic. Well, Aegis or not, that wasn't even the best fight for them. The best fight was the one before where they got greedy. They still take it. On that note, 1 lane of Rex, possibly even game. In fact, it well might be.
Yeah, it looks like they could get a second lane as well. Malcolm can get caught out. There's tons of disables still left in the tank. Rubik finishes him off. And it's only Fear left standing. Fear with no BKB up. He's got tons of gold here. May just look to go in, die, and buy back. But even if he does that, he's going to have no backup. Beat is the only one respawning soon on that bane. It looks like Fnatic are going to get a second lane of Raxes here at top.
And they're actually going to keep their top Rax alive, so they'll get 2 lanes of Rax, they'll defend top. EG not 100% out of it yet, as Fear does have money for a Divine Rapier right now, but, well, if he dies now, he won't, and now he gets psyched up. Throw him back. Are they going to look to dive this? Smurf says, let's finish the Rax. The rest of the team says, let's find some kills. Somebody make up your mind. Now they'll go on to Beatus. Beatus will go down, and then, in the end, it's a team wipe, so Fnatic probably winning the game off of that fight.
Man, that top range Rax on 44 HP. It does get kept alive, and Fnatic now 4 Rax lead.
Hero Rex.
This is looking good.
It's looking really good for
Hero
Fnatic.
Rubik, I tell you, that Rubik, man.
Yeah, it's really been F4L this game. And the crucial fights, Mojo Stormstout has played quite well as well, but F4L, the big playmaker. If he doesn't steal RP, blink, and catch 3, I think that fight actually goes at least even for EG, if not ahead. Because the thing was, Lifestealer was probably going to die, caught completely in the midst of the enemy team, taking every single nuke. Rage had worn off by that point. Smurf was in a world of trouble, but with the stolen RP, able to live, and then the fight completely turns around.
Well, we'll see whether or not EG looks to try and make something happen in the next couple of minutes with this deficit, but it just feels like...
I think you have one more play.
Yeah, it seems like a one fight and then you're done.
Roche is coming up soon. They're going to have money for a Divine Rapier on Fear. I think you try and steal that Aegis, get the Rapier on Fear, and then that's it. That's your one big go.
Yeah, then the 5-man mid just has to succeed. Most of these Radiant heroes are going to have buyback, which looks to be the big issue. I think
all of them,
has
all
buyback.
5.
Wow. Okay, so even if you get a team wipe, you get Aegis. When you look to go 5-man mid, you're going to be in another 5v5 fight, and RP probably on cooldown, so you...
It's a 10v5. Like you said, 5 heroes with buyback, so...
Maybe some of them buy some items soon. Looking at, I guess...
The thing is, like, none of these heroes have a great... Darkseer can build a Sight Device, but he's not close to it yet.
Will probably pick up a Blink Dagger when he has the gold. I don't think Nyx Assassin is going to be thinking about buyback here, but maybe he is.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the next... Yeah, you're right. I think he probably spends his gold. Darkseer probably saves for buyback since there's nothing he can buy now. Lifestealer, Smurf, maybe he sells his drums and tries to replace them. Maybe he goes Boots of Travel. But realistically, there's nothing that he can buy right now that's going to completely turn the fights. So I think he sits for buyback as well. And, well, your Rubik, Blink Force. What else does F4L really need? Apparently nothing. And currently sitting on cooldown as well, which he also stole right when they were busy taking that second lane of Rax. So another big AoE ability for Fnatic.NA. I think they're in a great position. EG, they'll have this one last kind of, low percentage play, but can they make it work? Well, with Aegis Divine Rapier, anything is possible.
Yeah, and we mentioned at the start, this is a Gyrocopter who's getting some super buffs. He's got the Bloodlust, he's going to have Empower as well. They do go away during that BKB, but there'll be some recasts once the BKB wears off, and... Well, we'll see Malk with level 4 Bloodlust shortly. He's actually going to have an Aghanim Scepter, which is an interesting item, so to speak. You do get that extra stun and extra lockdown, which is probably something you need to get kills against this Fnatic.NA side.
I'm not sure. I feel like for that amount of money, there's other things he could be looking to buy. Things like a Pipe might be helping his team more. Even a Ghost Scepter or 4-stat, but Beck, I think he just wants to tank up as well and ensure gets off multiple stuns in the fight.
So... We'll see. EG's only way to play here is Divine Rapier Gyrocopter. There's no other way to win this game. So if he doesn't get that, I'd be completely shocked.
I imagine they realized that. Fear didn't even think about buying back. Just sat on his gold throughout that fight. Watched the second lane of Rax fall, and, well, he'll have the money for that Divine soon. So the thing is, if he buys it and he doesn't have Aegis, I don't think it does anything. I think he needs that second life. There's too much burst damage for me on Fnatic's side. Yeah,
we're going to see Fnatic look to end the game now, so there's not going to be any time for the Divine Rapier to come into play. Puck, Lifesteal's infested inside, and they'll look for any opening they can get.
They don't have Hannah Montana. It seems like he was thinking about going to push out the bottom lane, but in the end, he'll head mid, no, he'll head back. Fnatic not really 100% sure how they want to proceed. I think diving for kills is not the way to go here. Get some wards up, take the Roche safely, control the lanes, and if you get Roche, that's game. I mean, EG are not going to win this game without that Aegis on their side.
Yep, well, Fear's going to have enough gold. Now, he's got enough gold now for his Divine Rapier, so you can't stay for buyback. If you're only staying in the game as EG by buying back, you're going to lose in the long term because you need items. When you're down 4 axes, you've just got to buy. You've just got to buy items. You can't sit on buyback.
While that was happening, Jo looks like he was able to push in that top lane and, well, not even push it, but just snipe the range rack. So small little victory for him. It does give him some additional gold. Not really going to affect the lane creep equilibrium at one bit, but EG, they'll smoke up. Roche is coming soon. And Divine purchased already. Not even going to wait for the Aegis.
I don't think you can. I think I think it's incredibly risky and 90% chance he loses it in a team fight. But there's no other way they win a team fight without it.
That's a fair point, and you got to imagine Fnatic.NA is going to contest this one. They will rotate back. Everybody here, still an infested Puck in the mix, and going to orb his way in. Oh, they might catch them with the complexity wraparound gank. Hannah Montana going to surge away. Fnatic recognizing that they were in a precarious position. Middle lane pushing into the base. Now you know EG is smoked, so EG, their initial smoke gank not going to work, and they're going to have to go defend soon.
Yeah, they're going to have to defend. They also want to be able to contest Roshan, which they're just not in position to do. So Fnatic go for Roach, they can get it. EG are going to show themselves bottom. Also, probably they showed the Divine Rapier there. I assume someone would have clicked Fear in time, and this is it. This is the fight to decide everything.
Here comes the final engagement. Who's going to be coming out on top? Demon forced to actually blink away when he TPs in. Now the Scythe device going onto Mojo Stormstone. Out comes Smurf. Chops away at Jo. Jo is low. Jo will fall. The telekinesis stun also clips Beat is at 4L. Has a call down. Hasn't dropped it yet. Probably wants to do so. Wait for that RP. They've already gotten 2. Buyback. Oh no. Vicken stuns out 2. F4L hasn't stolen the RP yet. I doubt at this point won't be able to get it off. So maybe he still has a skewer. The Rapier Gyro just not doing anything to this fight. It feels Fear. Unable to do the damage. Down he'll go. EG gonna lose game 2. Fnatic a little bit back and forth in the mid game, but they pulled through in the end gods. They will be forcing a game 3. EG are gonna have to fight if they want to face Team Liquid, who just finished off Kaida in their round 1 match.
Yeah, you can't really just look at this group and say, hey, this is EG Liquid all over it, because Fnatic.NA here to say something about that. Just Gyrocopter, even with a Divine Rapier, he just tanked it up there.
Some call them the 4th pillar of North American Dota. Grant, shout out to you. Well, we'll see if they can actually make a case for themselves.
Maybe an organization, but they haven't proven it yet with their play. This is a great game, but they've got a lot more to go.
Definitely not, but showing potential here. I gotta say for me, MVP, F4L. The stolen RP is absolutely massive, but the whole team for Fnatic played well. Good team decision making. Something that they lacked in game 1 was they took some fights which were a little questionable, which didn't really go their way. Game 2, much more solid performance in terms of the team-wide decision making.
Yeah, I agree. We'll see if EG can secure that 2-1 win, though. They've got a lot of pressure on them, especially considering their recent performances. TI3 coming up, so much really at stake in general. Maybe not in this specific tournament, but they've really got a lot to prove.
And there's a lot of good competition if they make it into the next round. Will they do so, or will they do so as a 1 seed? We'll find out, guys. First, they got to take down Fnatic. Game 3 of this best of 3 coming up next. You're watching the WePlay.tv Dota 2 League, and it all continues right after this.